Oh boy, good morning. How's everybody doing today? Good, good, good. Today we're talking about fun stuff with Hook and magic and all that stuff and growing up and staying young. And so, with all that, I decided to wear my fun shoes and my red socks so that I could be fun. So, oh, thanks. All right, fishing for comments. I know. Oh, you don't dare me. I'll do it. See, there we go. All right, that will distract me. So, anyway, so um, awakening to the power of magic. So I did a lot of looking at magic and looking at fun and looking at the movie Hook. I watched it 3 times this week. Not that I hadn't seen it before, but I wanted to make sure that I had all the stuff and all the magic, and it's just full of little messages and full of insight and full of good things for us to remember. For us to remember. And if you have not seen, has anybody not seen the movie Hook?
Really?
Wow. If you've not, you've got to stay.
It is PG.
It is PG. Okay, so all right, you're gonna if you're staying, you're gonna have a good time watching this. It's on Netflix. You can watch it anytime, but it's more fun to watch it with people. Hook is about, just as the trailer said, what if Peter Pan grew up? What if he grew up and he forgot? And he forgot how to fly. And he forgot about happy thoughts. You see, because in Hook, Peter Pan does grow up and he forgets. And things happen, and all of a sudden he has to find his way back. He finds his way back to Neverland, and he begins this process of remembering who he is. As you saw in the little trailer, the older grandmotherly type woman, that's Wendy. I know, I'm not giving it all away. Trust me, I won't give it all away. There's plenty. And Wendy asks him, well, don't you know who you are, Peter? So the question for us becomes, don't we remember who we are? Have we forgotten? And how do we remember? How do we reclaim our own childlike nature? How do we remember the magical things, the magical way we viewed the world, and how do we do that? How do we get to uncover the wonder and uncover the mystery and the magic? What can I do to do that in my life? Earlier this week, I was in a conversation with a group of folks, and it came to me to um, pull up this little thing from a book called All I Ever Really Needed to Know I Learned in Kindergarten by Robert Fulghum. So, if you've not read it, even if you have, it's a good list to be reminded of the things that are truly important. And it goes like this. There are 16 of them. They're short. Bear with me. Share everything. Play fair. Don't hit people. Put things back where you found them. Clean up your own mess. Don't take things that aren't yours. Say you're sorry when you hurt somebody. Wash your hands before you eat. Flush. Warm cookies and cold milk are good for you. Live a balanced life. Learn some and think some and draw and paint and sing and dance and play and work every day some. Take a nap every afternoon. When you go out in the world, watch out for traffic, hold hands, and stick together. Be aware of wonder. Remember the little seed in the styrofoam cup? The roots go down and the plant goes up. And nobody really knows how or why, but we're all like that. Goldfish and hamsters and white mice, and even the little seed in the styrofoam cup, they all die. And so do we. And then remember the Dick and Jane books, and the first word you learned, the biggest word of all, look. So, Yeats writes this: the world is full of magical things, patiently waiting for our senses to grow sharper. Patiently waiting for our senses to grow sharper. There's so much, and I think I spoke about this the last couple of Sundays back. There is so much in this world that we don't see. There's energy flying around all over the place that we don't see. I mean, cell phones, right? Cell phone signals, radio signals, all kinds of vibrations and colors and things that if we could just see, we would see. And how much is going on just beyond our sight? Isn't that what magic is? Magic is, for me, embracing the unexpected. It's being willing to be open, being willing to be challenged, being willing to accept and see things that maybe I never saw before. Or maybe I just never allowed myself to see it. Because there's so much going on out here in the world. I mean, up until now, I haven't even considered what is it I'm not seeing? What is it I'm not accepting? And maybe I'm not seeing something just because I simply can't accept it as being possible. Right? It's like Neverland. Peter had grown up so much and allowed himself to be so wrapped up in the world and the expectations that he couldn't accept it. He couldn't see. He couldn't wake up to himself, so to speak. See, magic is not, it's not that magic doesn't exist. It's just we have a misconception about what magic is, I think. It's like in the world of recovery, we talk about magical thinking, about setting up unreasonable expectations for ourselves about how things will work or how things can work. And so I went to the dictionary. Actually, I went to Google and I typed in, what is the definition of magic? And I got to a dictionary that I'd completely forgotten about, the Cambridge Dictionary. And so the Cambridge Dictionary says this about magic. Definition A special and exciting quality that makes something seem different from ordinary things. So, Joe, can we just hold this up for a little while? So, something different from ordinary things. So, what is that? What is different from ordinary? Right? So, people out in the world have an expectation that says, okay, so some minister's going to stand up in church on Sunday morning and he's going to be, if it's a guy, he's going to be there in a suit and tie, and shiny shoes on, and he's going to be all serious, right? There's that expectation, that model out there, that collective agreement that says that's what a minister is like on Sunday morning. No. See? So am I magical because I'm outside that expectation, because I'm special and exciting and something different from the ordinary? Does that make me magical?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you. I get to be magic. We all get to be magic because we all get to live outside the ordinary if that's what we choose. Just like Peter Pan gets to fly. We can fly. I can fly up in here. Right? I can get on an airplane and fly. I don't have to fly, like that. Although I could. Landing might be a problem, but I could fly. Let's look at definition 2 or B. Definition B. I like the A B instead of 1 2. I like that. B. So the use of special powers to make things happen that would usually seem impossible. So let's look at that word impossible. Sometimes I can't imagine the way something is going to happen. Right? Sometimes I can't imagine the way something is going to happen. So frequently, like if I'm sitting down to do my affirmative prayer with my spiritual mind treatment, I have an end in mind. I have an end result in mind. I may not know all the steps to get there, but I set an intention that says, this is the outcome I am looking for. And so I sit down and I do my work and I do my 5 steps, my recognition, my unification, realization, thanksgiving, and release. And I do my work and I set the intention in mind and I accept it as an already manifest experience in my life. So I'm using my special powers to create that end result in consciousness and not worry about what the steps are because I trust, I know, not just trust, I know, like I know the sun's coming up tomorrow morning, that once I have that set in mind, the steps will become evident, that the way will be made clear because the universe is saying yes to me all the time. Now, sometimes I may have to go back and kind of remind myself, like Diane was saying, I get these little doubts that'll pop up in the middle of the week. I've already done my work early. I did my work a couple of days ago. And maybe a little doubt comes up and I say, you know what? Nope, done. No, it's done. I'm not digging up the seed. I'm not pulling out the styrofoam cup and digging down there and saying, are you growing yet? No, it's not what we do. The seed's planted. All I do is water it and saying, I water it by saying, you know what? Already done. Already complete. And if I really feel the need to, I don't treat again for that thing. I just treat the doubt. Say, you know what? No. It's already done. It's already complete. All I have to do is take the steps as they show up. So, how do we get there? So when I've planted the seed, thanks, Joe. So the seed in the styrofoam cup. We plant the seed in the soil. We have complete faith that all we got to do is water it, right? So I have that childlike faith that says, you know what? The seed's going to grow. It's not how, it's not whether it's going to grow, it's when is it going to pop up and then what happens next, right? Frequently, I think most frequently, it's usually like a green bean plant. At least that's been my experience in the world with the kids. They bring home the styrofoam cup and it's a green bean. It is. I mean, all 3 of them. Yeah. And so living with the doubt and getting back to the magic, getting back to the understanding that who and what we are is this magical being in the world. Like Peter, it's a matter of letting go of the ideas that we've taken on that says this is the way the world says I need to be. This is what success looks like for me in the world. I get to be a successful business. You'll see it. Anyway, I get to be a successful businessman with the house and the kids and the wife and all the stuff. All the stuff tells me all the stuff that I surround with myself with tells me that I'm a success, tells me that I'm worthwhile, tells me that I'm a good person. And that's not the case at all, is it? The case is who I am in here is what makes the difference. Who I am as a joyful child of God, a joyful being, a happy, healthy, well adjusted individual, whatever well adjusted is. For me, it's can you paint and not care? Do I get to paint a painting and be okay with whatever the outcome is? Can I do macrame? Can I grow some plants in the yard and be happy with however they show up? Can I just be happy being me? Just comfortable on the couch watching a movie, and can I smile while I'm doing that? Is that okay? Or just be happy doing whatever it is I happen to be doing that day because I'm here. And what are my happy thoughts? What are the things that I could get happy about in the world? Happy thoughts. What's your happy thought? Anybody? Come on.
My dog.
Your dog. Happy thoughts. Come on. Pardon me?
My wife.
Your wife.
The beach.
The beach. Anybody else? Happy thoughts. Come on. What's that? Flowers. Puppies.
Showing up.
Showing up. Babies. Friends. You see, it's easy. Happy thoughts. I'm sorry, what?
Coffee.
Coffee. Yes. Coffee. Coffee in the morning. Yeah. It was great. Like yesterday, we walked down to, as we moved out to Vistancia a month ago. God, it's been a month already. Month and a week. And we had been so busy, we hadn't really explored or done anything. And, some people we met at the pool said, yeah, we can just walk right down to the coffee shop. Da, 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 da. And we're like, what? And there's this little walking trail. You walk around here, you walk down the walking trail, and it leads you literally right to the coffee shop. This little independent little coffee shop. We walked down there yesterday morning, got a cup of coffee, got a little something, and it was wonderful. To live life without an agenda. Just be happy. Wow. Imagine that. Imagine that. So the happy thoughts, one of the things that had occurred to me is like, gratitude is happy. Right? What am I grateful for? And in the movie and in life, it's like all the things that, you ask people what is your happy thought? And it's something to be grateful for, right? Gratitude grows grace. Gratitude grows awareness. Gratitude grows creativity. Gratitude grows everything. Gratitude waters the little seed in the styrofoam cup. Right? I get to be happy about that. And what a powerful place to be. Just be grateful for life. Grateful to be here. The power of magic is the power of seeing things as being magical. Right? Because when we think of things as magical, as being extraordinary, as being exceptional, but they're not really. I think we look at them as being exceptional because we forget to take notice of them. So Nora Roberts said this: magic exists. Of course, if you read Nora Roberts, yeah, absolutely. Who can doubt it when there are rainbows and wildflowers, the music of the wind, and the silence of the stars? We forget to notice the wonderful things The ordinary things are extraordinary every day if we stop and really allow them to be. The world is magical if we allow it to be. We are magical when we allow ourselves to be there in that space. Time's getting away from me. Okay. And finally, the power of imagination. How much more can we imagine our lives to be? No matter where we are in life, early on, midlife, later life, no matter where we are, we can imagine more. How open are you? How open am I have to ask myself, to something greater? Have I allowed myself to become complacent, to become too comfortable with where I am in life and what I'm doing? Am I willing to be more? Am I willing to draw a line, so to speak, and say, you know what? There is more for me to be. There is more for me to express, more for me to experience, more for me to see. And there's a point in the movie where all of a sudden Peter allows himself to imagine himself as more, to see himself not as Peter Banning anymore, but as Peter Pan again. So, can we allow ourselves to imagine ourselves as being greater? And to see how going back to the beginning frequently is a way to move forward in a more powerful way. To set ourselves free of the preconceptions that we may have accepted as being real for us. To set ourselves free of that. To return to a place where everything's possible again. So, with that, questions and answers. So, any questions today? Any comments? Any thoughts? We are open to all of it.
Thank you for reminding us about beginning with the end in mind.
Mm-hmm. The end in mind is everything. Yes. Thank you. Anybody else?
Well, I was thinking when you were talking, that was a wonderful talk. Thank you.
Thank you.
Life is a journey. And now that I had this special birthday of 80 years old, I was looking back at all the things that have happened in my life. And I really realized there's no end. We think, oh gosh, I'm going to get to this age and I'm going to get something and I'm going to die. But then that's a new beginning. So every single day for me is a new beginning to appreciate my garden, my pups, my friends, all the things we were talking about. And life is so beautiful. And you really pointed that out in your talk. It was delightful. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You can turn any way you want, Penny. You're grown. You're grown. You can make those choices.
So it took me a long time to accept who I am and how I am. And I'm different than everybody. And I'm okay with it. And so I've only let myself not feel bad. And if someone isn't able to accept me for who I am, then, that's not about me. It's about them. So I'm much happier because I get to be me.
Yay. Yay.
Who else? Anyone else?
Want to play jump rope? So we're taught, following on to what Penny said, we're taught that we are each unique. I mean, our fingerprints are unique. Uh, there was never, nor will there ever be another me. And so we are all special because we're unique and we are who we are. And sometimes it takes a long time to get there to say, if you can't accept me for who I am, that's your problem.
Mhm.
Or choice.
Or choice.
Or choice. Hi. It started at the previous church I used to go to because they accepted everybody however they were, and I liked that about them, and so yeah, it all started there. So yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, it just kind of dawned on me when I was little. I had this huge imagination growing up in Ohio. I always ran down into the ravine and started tracking Bigfoot. And so, and I had like this room filled with what I called my specimens. And my father grew up in the South. He was like, get those insects out of here now, or I'm going to get the raid. And so, but I still kind of have like that mindset and that imagination that I just love just that magic that I get when I'm like in the forest or swimming in the ocean, that there's so much life around me. And that in itself is magic because I mean, really, there's an earth, you know? So anyway.
Well, I will say that Daniel sent me the good news for this week, and the article was a bit out there for me. I couldn't find the how to even present it. It's on astrophysics and the announcement that was made this last Wednesday, by about 5 different nations of astrophysicists who have been collaborating for over 15 years, keeping this secret, that they have now discovered and confirmed that the universe is filled, like it's like an ocean of waves and movement, and that Earth bobbles. It's not just spinning, it's like a beach ball in the ocean, just on the waves and moving around and all this stuff. Not that to the extent we can feel it, but they have discovered that everything in the universe is on this big wave of stuff and it's just moving. And I'm like, I can't do this. I don't know how to present this, but it's interesting. It's mind warping. It's like, what does it mean to me? What does it mean to me?
It's ebb and flow, right? So I have been blessed with grandchildren, and just last week I got to be with a 1-year-old, and the joy and the magic of just watching a child is so expressive, and the wonder of she had a box. She, for the 4 days I was there, she loved her box. She would take everything to her box and just sit in it, look around and smiles. It's just for a box. So if you have the pleasure of being around a child, that's where you find the magic and the wonder.
Like a cat.
Right.
All right, one more. Anybody else?
All right.
All right.
Practicing the principle then.
Practicing the principles.
Here we go. Thank you, Reverend Joe, for helping. See the world with soft eyes. I didn't even get to this in the talk. All right. See the world with soft eyes. Take time this week to consciously look at the world without expectation. Well, yeah, kind of touched on. Okay. Look to see the world as it is by feeling with your eyes. Yeah. Well, it's not even, this is even, I mean, it's kind of inferred in the movie. So, soft eyes, and I'll just touch on this real brief. I think I explained it quickly. It's looking without doing so and looking for sharp detail. It's observing the world and looking at the world with a wide view and feeling into it rather than looking at it. It's allowing ourselves to be with what we're looking at and feeling our way into the experience, into the moment. Okay, so I'll just leave it at that and let you play with it because it's fun. It is fun. Next, gratitude. Daily gratitude. We talked about gratitude. Gratitude is a gateway. Gratitude is a gateway to awareness, to happy, to joy, to creativity. Being grateful for what we have opens the door for more in every area of life. Okay. And third, practice imagining more and being open to what's possible. Practice imagining more. So just being open to possibility. All right, so those are the 3 this week. Okay, so let's take it all into prayer this morning. Breathe in with me. Let it go. Recognize the one power and presence which is life and love and joy, in which we live and move and have our being, and it in us, as us, through us right now. It is the life that we live. And I speak this word right now for myself, for everybody present here in this moment, or at whatever time and place you are, we are when you're watching. Knowing that all is well, that life is good and very good as us. So we speak the word believing in faith and trust that no matter what it is already complete. That if we have a need in our lives, we bring it forward right now and let it go, knowing that resolution is already complete. That in truth, that in the mind and heart of Spirit and the mind of God, wholeness is our truth. Wholeness is our experience. Life and love and peace, health and prosperity are our experience. There are no needs or unfulfilled desires in the mind of God. So in the light of this truth, we allow any doubt or uncertainty to be swept aside. Because revealed in and through each and every one of us is the truth that God is all there is. And that God, this infinite life and spirit, divine love, all of this is the reality of my experience, of your experience. And so we're grateful for this. We're grateful for magic. We're grateful for love, for joy, for happiness. We're grateful for the seed in the little styrofoam cup, knowing that it is growing right now. It's already a great big bean plant. And that is the truth of our lives right now. That we are growing, evolving, expanding into ways of being beyond what we have imagined. And for all of that, we are grateful. And so we let it be. And so it is.
So it is.